Hi, this is Dan Trockman. In this tutorial I want to show you how to create a new course in Moodle without moving an old one from the old Moodle. So in this tutorial I'll already have logging in with my network credentials from the Blake School. After logging in, what you'll be able to do is go to your division. So if you're lower school, middle school, or an upper school teacher, I encourage you to click on the area that you want to create the course. So if you want to create a course at the upper school, for example, I'm going to click on upper school. Scroll down, lower down here on the page, and you should be able to add a new course. If this button is not showing for you, please send a support request right away asking for course creator status in Moodle. At this point, you'll be presented with a couple of dialogues. First of all, course full names do follow a protocol at Blake. It should be the name of the course, followed by the teacher's last name. Here in course short name, you must spell these things right. Here under course short name, this is just a shortening of the name, but it should be similar. Just in case, I have one already named the same thing. These names have to be unique. Moodle will not allow you to have two courses of the same name. Then under course category, make sure it's in the correct place. I'm going to put it into upper school, science and health. Here is right away you can state whether or not your course is visible to the rest of the world. If you have it as hide, you'll be able to see it, but students will not. I'm going to have my course available right away. And for course start date, you want to have the first Monday of the week where it's going to occur, especially if you are going to have this course set up as a course on a calendar. So I'm going to pick August 26th because that's the Monday of the first week of school in 2013. You would pick something different if it was for 2014, or if you were starting a course for second semester. Course ID should remain blank. Description is not necessary anymore. Notice that there is no longer a red asterisk, which would indicate that. And then simply go through the rest of these. For example, course format. If you're curious what the different formats are, clicking on this question mark right here will walk you through those. You'll not be using SCORM. That's if you're importing a course from something outside of Moodle and it's a industry standard format. Social format is used very infrequently here at Blake. Social format is literally just a forum, so a place for discussion, and it has no other content in it. Most commonly, we have either a topics format. A topics format is a course which is listed by units, and a weekly format is then one, obviously, that goes week to week. We have another type that's just been added recently called grid. And grid format allows you to have a series of, let's say, 4x3 graphics for your topics. Click on any one of those, brings you into your page. I'm going to select weekly format just for demonstration. The other thing that is different this year is here under course layout. And I'll show you this in a little bit, but under course layout, I would suggest that you start with show one section per page, and this is different than we had before. By showing one section per page, a student clicks on the week name, and that brings them to a more expansive Moodle page like we saw before, but it prevents that whole Moodle scroll of death where you have 50 weeks of or 40 weeks of course material all laid out on one page, which you have to scroll through to find anything, which can be very troublesome for student navigation. Lastly, how many weeks are you going to display? For a full school year, that would be 42. Otherwise, it's typically either 20 or 21 weeks in order to see everything in a semester. Under Appearance, this is a place where you can also force a language. So if you're teaching a language here at school, for example, if you're teaching Chinese and it's an advanced course and you only want Chinese displayed on your course, all of the menus and instructions and so forth, the students would be in Chinese. For the most part, clicking Do Not Force allows the page to show in the student's preferred language that they have set in their profile. Files and uploads. This is where you set the maximum size of something to upload to your course. The default is 100 megabytes. Please avoid the 2 gigabyte limit. We should not be uploading anything close to that large. This is simply set that large in order to have a gateway for teachers to import a new course into Moodle. And at this time, nobody should be setting a limit of that high. If you need a higher limit for your course, see me individually or send me a support request. Completion tracking is also new. This is very cool. This allows either manual or automatic checkboxes on any particular item or any unit or your whole page to show, thus allowing you as a teacher to see what has been watched and done, or requesting that students do the same. The other thing that can be done here is for students to be able to then have a checkbox and a list to know that they have completed things that are required on the page. Guest access, just as in the past. If you allow for guest access, parents and others and prospective students can browse to Moodle, go directly into your page to look around at what's there, but not interact with your page. And that is our preference, that teachers set that up that way. Grouping. If you want to be able to filter assignments and forums and other things by groups of students that you have, let's say several different sections that you have, you can set up group modes, and this can be done later as well. It doesn't have to be turned on now. Separate groups means that one group won't be able to interact with another group's materials, but will be able to see them. And visible groups allows everyone to see and everyone to interact with each other, but allow you to filter for what you want to see. Here under role renaming, so for example, if email goes out from the teacher to the students, if you don't want it to go out as teacher, but you'd rather have it go out as profe or something like that, you can remap that there, but that's typically unchanged. I'm going to save my changes and create my course now. And once it's created, the first thing that you'll see is it's going to ask you how you want to enroll your users. If you don't have an enrollment form yet, format, you can see students won't be able to enroll in the course. At this point, if you wish, you can click on Enroll Users and you can manually enroll your users. I would suggest that you go over to Administration and find out what enrollment methods you have in your course. So I'm going to click on Enrollment Methods, and notice that Manual Enrollments is available, Guest Enrollments is available, and Self-Enrollment is available. Because self-enrollment is on this page, that students may self-enroll, and the eye is visible. I'll show you if I turn that off what that looks like. So now student self-enrollment is not allowed. That means that only you can put students in using the manual enrollment button, but if you unclick that and see that student self-enrollment is indeed visible, that means students can manually enroll themselves in your course by logging into Moodle, navigating to your course, and clicking on the Enroll button that would be under Administration in their own controls. Go back to my course here. And any changes that I want to make on the course now are available, again, always, here under Administration. Likely, when you first create your course, it'll look like this, where your blocks, all your various blocks, will be over here on the right side of the page. And as we've shown in other tutorials, all of this stuff is now dockable. So I can, by clicking on these, have a nice wide open page here with all of the things that I want to be able to do on my page over here on the right hand side. Navigation is where you can do 90% of your stuff. It's all going to be here under Course Administration. And to turn editing on and get to work, you can do that right here. But notice, because this page is set up to show only one page per date, if I actually click on the week, now it shows me a page where all of my stuff is. So over here at the front of your Moodle course, It's simply a place for students to be able to scroll through and find what they need. And notice it's a nice short list now, and it's never going to fill up with stuff. I had said that grid is a new way, and I can show you what grid looks like. I have a fake course set up here called Environmental Science. One we just created is Environmental Science 2, but Environmental Science 1 is right here. And in Environmental Science 1, this is set up as grid view. And you can see as I change this grid size, different things show up here. So if I want to be able to, for example, show the LaTeX language in math, clicking on that one then shows this unit here as a floating window. And I can show you the same sort of thing here. This has a variety of assignments and other things, and you can see that it's this nice floating window. Because you are a teacher and you're creating a course, you'll automatically, upon creating a new course, you'll automatically be listed as the teacher, so you don't have to change that. If you have other teachers that you want listed as the teacher in your course, come see someone in my office or send me a support request for that. But that would also be under users, enrolled users, and you can see who the teachers and who the students are in a course from that place, and you can make changes to that. That's the end.